Solving a system equations with 3 variables could be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be, not if you know what the process is involved. So in this tutorial, what we're going to do is go through the process. This is a text question received from a 9th grader taking Algebra 2 here at Basis High School, Tucson, Arizona. If you too want your questions answered, you can go to math2tube.com. All right, let's get started. So what I have here is a system of 3 equations with 3 variables. So the process is this: when you start with 3 and 3 variables, 3 equations, what you really want to do is you want to reduce down to 2 variables and 2 equations. And why do we want to do that? Because from there, we can reduce down to 1 variable, 1 equation. And from here, we can use the pre-algebra, okay, to solve this one. Once we solve this one, we'll go backward to find. But let's get down to the details, and you'll see what we're doing here. Let's make sure I'm keeping track of my color code here. So once again, I have a 3 variable, 3 equation here. What I'm really trying to do here is to reduce this one into 2 variable, 2 equation. Closely examining those 3 equations, I think eliminating variable y is the best choice. Okay, it could be the laziest choice almost. I can choose to eliminate other variables, say x or z, okay? But x and z are a little more work for me, because here, if I add 1 and 2, my 3y and the negative 3y will cancel out very nicely. So y would end up with this equation, okay, if I deal with 1 and 2. Equation 1 and 2. Next thing I want to do again, you want to keep in mind what you're trying to do here. Okay, there's a lot of equations, a lot of variables. It can get confusing quickly, but it doesn't have to be. Not if you know what you're trying to do here. My only goal is eliminating 1 variable by manipulating those 3 equations. However I can do it, I'll do it. Okay, since I used the 1 and 2 already, I have to involve 3 on the next step. I can use 3 and 1 or 2 and 3, doesn't matter, but so long every single one of them is involved at least once. Now, the easiest thing for me to do here, of course, is add 2 and 3. The reason is my variable y disappears nicely. Okay, this is 34 here. All right, now let's change our color of pen. So here we have a very nice 2 variable, 2 equation. The gist of it is really we are making life easier on ourselves. Right? We've gone to from 3, gone to 2 now. Now for those 2 variable, 2 equation, I'm gonna keep on simplifying it until I get to 1 variable, 1 equation that I can solve very easily. Looking at those 2 variable, 2 equations, it's not hard to see that, well, of course, eliminating variable z makes sense. Why is that? Well, I'm lazy, right? Here's the lazy part that you really need to exploit if you can. If you want to eliminate x, it's a little more work. But if I just add those 2 equations, I can get 9x equal to 45 without any work at all. Okay, so I achieved my goal of 1 variable, 1 equation, 9x equal to 45. Okay, from there, I have x equal to 5. It's one of my answers, right? Now let's go back down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to draw a line for us. Now this signifies that we're working backward now. Okay, the reason we're working backward is now we have one of the variables figured out. We want to see what the other variables are. So we're going backward by substitution and to figure out what other variables that we have values for. So x equal to 5. Let's go back up a little bit so we can see here. Then onto the second step here, let's use the red again. I have 3 times 5 plus 2z equal to 11. So since I know x is here, this is my x value. So I have 2z equal to 11 minus 15, or z equal to minus 2. Let's put our box over here. Combine the x equal to 5 and z equal to minus 2. Let's get back to the first step and see where our variable y is. Let's go back up a little bit so we can see the equation here. So do I have one yet? There, okay. So I have 4 times x equal to 5, minus 3y, I don't know why it is yet, minus z, and z is minus 2. Okay, that's equal to 19. Right. So from here, I'm going to solve that minus 3y plus 2, and this is 20, equal to 19. Minus 3y is equal to 19 minus 2 minus 20. So here I have 3y minus 3y equal to minus, if you do 22 here, this is minus 3. So y is equal to positive 1. Okay, there you have it. I have variable 1 here, variable 2 here, variable 3 here. If your teacher asks you to put in x, y formation, then you have x equal to 5, okay, y is equal to 1, and z equal to minus 2. All right, have a confidence day.